I don't know. You, if you want to do it, you can.
You jump or you walk?
You jump from the bridge in the middle there.
The left tower has got a lift that takes you all the way to the top, then you walk to the middle on the bridge and jump. That is 100 meters jump. This is the University of Johannesburg, well known as UJ. The main campus is located in Johannesburg, and it was built here to help students from Soweto not to travel far to go to school. Previously known as Rau and Vista, so the two universities were merged to form University of Johannesburg. This is the Freedom Square, the place where our Bill of Rights was adopted in 1955 under the tree, which has now been replaced by the 9 pillars in front of us, representing the 9 different provinces we have today. Previously, South Africa had only 4 provinces: Transvaal, Free State, KwaZulu-Natal, and the Cape Province. The place is also well known as Walter Sisulu Square of Dedication, as is the man who led the gathering here when the Bill of Rights was adopted. Freedom Day is also celebrated here every 27th of April, which is the day that we have had our first democratic elections in South Africa in 1994. It is here where Winnie Mandela lived during her last years of her life until her passing in 2018. The house was constructed by the community, with big people putting big money such as Gaddafi, Fidel Castro and Clint Eastwood. This is Orlando West High School, one of the schools that participated during the student uprising of 1976. And down the road here is where the youngest victim was shot and killed. His name was Hector Peterson. And today we have the memorial constructed about the student uprising here, named after him. This is Vilakazi Street, the well-known street in Soweto, because this is here where the 2 Nobel Peace Prize winners lived. That is Nelson Mandela and Desmond Tutu. Nelson Mandela's house is this one here. He moved into this house here in 1946 with his first wife Evelyn, until their divorce and got married to Winnie. Eventually, Mandela got arrested in 1962, leaving his family here until he was released in 1990, only to move back to this house for 11 days. This is Hector Peterson Memorial that I spoke about earlier, and now we'll have a short guided tour with our site guide.
Nigeria, when you get to Nigeria, he disappeared. And we say disappear in Nigeria because the last time he wrote the letter to his mother, the address was Nigeria. And Bwesa Makubo's mother, she passed away in 2005. Still hoping to see him. When the museum was opened in 2002, she was approached to comment about his disappearance. People were regarding him as a hero, and the mother is against it. Before I show you the message from the mother, the gentleman who took the picture, Sam Uzema, he was confronted by the police. Police took the film of his camera. He had decided to put the film of the picture in his socks. The following day, the photo went by. Police became embarrassed. He was under house arrest for 2 years. He decided to stop taking photos from that time until he died on the 4th of May 2018 at the age of 84. Without wasting time, let's read the message on the stone. But I would like to tell visitors to keep to the age of 12. It was 3 months before he celebrated his 13th birthday. The mother saying Bwesa is or was my son. She was not sure if he was still alive or each other difficult to survive. And you get to see the healing waterfall, symbolizing the tears of parents who did not get to see their children again. Do you know how they lost their lives? Maybe it is written on the big rock, the boulder. 600 school children were shot dead. 140 of them were under the age of 14. The youngest, the Limiti, shot with a 9mm bullet. Her body was lying on the street for more than 5 hours, covered with newspapers because ambulances were not coming here. She was 8 years of age, and thousands were wounded, thousands were detained, thousands were tortured. Violence spread to other townships, and 12,000 fled the country to train as soldiers in a whole lot of other African countries, including Uganda, because I remember very well Pan-Africanist Congress, APLA, had its headquarters in Uganda, and a whole lot of them came back in 1990 after Mandela was released. Some of them, they never made it back home alive.
This is Orlando Stadium, home to a professional soccer team called Orlando Pirates from this area. Now we are on our way to the biggest stadium in South Africa called FNB, well known as Soccer City during the Soccer World Cup. In 2010, which was won by Spain, the final game was between Spain and Netherlands. We have now arrived in Soccer City. The beautiful design of the stadium is made like a plant called the calabash, and the paintings around it indicates the different colors of our soil in South Africa. And as you can see, most of the colors on the building it's reddish in color, and that's an indication of iron oxide in our soil. And the stadium being the largest in South Africa, the capacity is 94,736.
I just don't know which one because
Uganda fine.
Okay guys, let's go.
If you look around this area here, you can see how green the city is, and all of these trees you see around here, they've been planted by men, and that makes the city of Johannesburg the largest city in the world with the largest man-made forest. Because at the time when gold was found here, the place was savanna, was just grassland with no trees. This is the first house that Mandela moved into when he became the president of South Africa with his wife Winnie Mandela. And then eventually he moved out of this one to the new house with the new wife. And this house here was occupied by Nelson Mandela Foundation. But today the house is a boutique hotel called a Sanctuary Hotel. The last house that was occupied by Mandela with his wife Gracia Machel was this one, until Mandela died in 2013, 5th of December. One interesting fact about Nelson Mandela's wife Gracia is that she has been the first lady in 2 different countries. She was the first lady in Mozambique as well as South Africa. Now we are approaching Sandton City, the richest square mile in Africa. It is home to most of the private banks, insurance companies, law firms and accounting firms. And it is also home to one of the biggest shopping centers we have in South Africa called Sandton Shopping Center, connected to Nelson Mandela Square, where we have the second biggest statue of Nelson Mandela in South Africa, which is standing 6 meters tall, the biggest one being the one in Union Building in Pretoria. Nelson Mandela Square is a food court holding center where we have the best 5-star restaurants in Sandton area. The square is adorned with these beautiful statues, the tallest being this one of Nelson Mandela, where we are taking our beautiful photos. For the best experience of what you have just watched, please contact us on besthostservices@gmail.com. You will be hosted by our best tourist guide in town, Simon Musuma. Thanks for watching, and we're looking forward to hosting you in Johannesburg.